I documented 3 weeks of evidence that my elderly neighbor was being abused. Then I saw what was actually happening through her window. It started with the screaming, thin apartment walls. I could hear everything from next door. My neighbor was 70-year-old Margaret, lived alone, quiet. I'd see her getting mail sometimes. Then 2 months ago, a younger woman started visiting, early 30s, designer handbag. Always there between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday. The first time I heard it, my blood went cold. Margaret's voice, panicked. Please, please, don't. The younger woman's response was calm, cold. You know what happens if you don't cooperate. I pressed my ear against the wall. My hands were shaking. I can't do this anymore, Margaret said. I'm too old for this. Age doesn't matter. You'll do what I say. I grabbed my phone, started recording the audio. 17 minutes of Margaret pleading, crying, begging for it to stop, then silence. I should have called the police right then, but I didn't have proof. Just audio through a wall. I needed more. The next Thursday, I heard it again. Worse this time. Margaret screaming. No, not like this, please. Sounds of furniture moving, something heavy hitting the floor. The younger woman's voice. Stop fighting me. You're hurting me. That's the point. My stomach dropped. I recorded everything. 23 minutes. I started keeping a log. Date, time, duration, what I heard. Week 2, I saw the younger woman arrive at 1:58 p.m. Large black bag, equipment maybe. She was in there for exactly 3 hours again. This time I heard Margaret say, I don't want to do the basement scene, like she was being forced into something. My throat tightened. I had to do something. I knocked on Margaret's door the next day. She answered, smiled. Oh, hello, dear. Can I help you? She looked fine. No bruises. But I knew abusers were careful. I just wanted to check on you. How sweet. Everything's wonderful. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Do you live alone? Yes, just me. I thought I heard another woman's voice sometimes. Margaret's face changed, just for a second. Oh, that's just the TV. But I'd heard both voices. Clear. She was lying, or being forced to lie. I went back to my apartment. My heart was pounding. Week 3, I saw the woman again. Same time. This time I followed her. Watched through Margaret's front window. The curtains were partly open. I could see into the living room. That's when I saw it. The younger woman wasn't hitting Margaret. She was holding a microphone on a stand. Professional looking. Margaret was sitting in a chair, headphones on, reading from papers. I moved closer to the window. There was a laptop open. Waveforms on the screen. Audio recording software. Sound panels on the walls. The entire living room was a recording studio. The younger woman said something. Margaret nodded, took a breath, then spoke in that same panicked voice I'd been hearing for weeks. Please, please don't. But she was reading from a script. The younger woman pressed something on the laptop. Let's try that again. More desperation. Margaret cleared her throat. Did it again. Different inflection. My legs went weak. I stood there watching for 10 more minutes. Margaret did the basement scene. She nailed it in 3 takes. The younger woman gave her a thumbs up. I walked back to my apartment in a daze. Sat on my couch staring at the wall. All those recordings, all that evidence. I pulled out my phone, Googled Margaret's full name. Margaret Winters, voice actress. First result, Margaret Winters, retired voice actress from Golden Age Radio, returns to voice work for thriller audiobooks. Article from 6 months ago. Her agents quote, Margaret brings unparalleled authenticity to dark material. The younger woman was her audio engineer. The screaming was dialogue. The 3-hour sessions were recording sessions. I'd been documenting an audiobook production. I looked at my evidence folder. 3 weeks of timestamps. Audio recordings. Photos of the engineer arriving. Detailed notes about suspicious behavior. I'd almost called Adult Protective Services. Almost filed a police report. My phone buzzed. Text from my sister. Have you listened to that audiobook I recommended? Trapped by Sarah Webb. The narrator Margaret Winters is incredible. So realistic, it's disturbing. I downloaded it. Pressed play. Margaret's voice filled my apartment. Please, please don't. The exact line I'd recorded through my wall 3 days ago. I listened to the whole thing. Every scene I'd documented as evidence was in that book. The next Thursday at 1:58 p.m., I heard Margaret and her engineer start a new session. Margaret's character was being poisoned. She sounded like she was dying, gasping, choking. Then I heard them both laughing. Margaret said, I think we got it. That was fun. I haven't called the police, but I did leave a 5-star review for Trapped. Margaret really is that good.